Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be riding 7 West a little bit longer here. We're leaving Star City Sheets right there. We're going to head right on down through Scott's Run down here. When you pass that gas station or whatever, make sure you're all the way in the right lane because you got to, I think it's 2 lanes you actually got to continue right through down here and to make this turn off. Yeah, there's would be your first and one more into the exit there. But yeah, we're going to be riding 7 West here. This will follow 19 and 7. They run together here for a little bit. This is kind of a congested area here. Make sure you're paying attention to others as you come through there. Same as before. This road right here at the beginning here is a little rough and stuff, but it's not. There's nothing terrible about it. But this from Star City. Now we're going. This one here is going to be a little bit different on the stoppage. I'm going to stop the video right at the right before you get in the 100 there, where 250 continues north and 7 cuts out west. I'm going to stop the video there, probably right about that Exxon station right there. And that there's no real place in between, and I mean, there was probably another, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour of riding left to finish out the video. So the video would have come out too long. But we're going to go from Star City to pretty much 100. I mean, it's another mile down the road. I just don't want to call it 100 because the 100's actually on 250. But you're looking at probably, it's right at 50 minutes to an hour ride from Star City to 100 there, and that we're going to cover that hour in this video, and probably around 35 miles. So there's your your time and mileage and stuff, and there's stuff throughout this ride right here. There's all kinds of like little areas and nooks and crannies of the backwoods of West Virginia, so to speak, I guess. But it's very enjoyable. Now we'll hit some pretty bad roads. I don't want to say bad, because in West Virginia, bad roads, you lose wheels, but they're just not. There's a couple that are fairly rough. So we'll keep that in mind. I'll do my best as we go out through here to point those out and things. That way you guys know them. But I will miss them. But if you can see them clearly in the video. But this is like I said, we're continuing from the last video there. We started the 7 video at the Maryland state line. Actually came from Maryland, riding west on 7 all the way to I guess Ohio. I stopped right there in New Martinsville because essentially that's where it stops. You have a couple more roads to keep kicking down there after New Martinsville. We'll cover that stuff in the next video, or the last video of 7, and that way you guys know, especially if you're not really familiar with this, or like the New Martinsville area, the little hub where all the a lot of the roads will they converge and things. So um, yeah, yeah. I think you have two, which we've done two on this channel, two north. Um, yeah, New Morgansville there. Um, I think, what is that? 20. That's where 20 ends too. 20 and actually converges into 7 here. And we'll cover, I'm going to do, because I've done all of 20. And I rode it south out of Clarksburg all the way to Virginia. But the northern half, um, from Clarksburg to 7 here in New Martinsville, I actually did on another channel. It was like the first video I ever made and put on YouTube. And I never did transfer it over to this channel. I really, honestly, never figured out how. So I went ahead and I've redone that ride. Of course, that's an awesome ride. I don't know if awesome is the right word. It's a good ride. It's just one that I take a lot because you can do a big circle, like especially if you live, on the west of Bridgeport. Uh, you can, take 20 north, go to New Martinsville, bring 180 or 2 back south to 50 or 18 or 23. It's a gaggle of good roads. A man can make a huge, day circle out of there. So, but, we're going to cover some bigger roads. Like I need to get 250 done. Uh, that is a huge road. I don't know how I never. I wanted to cover it several times, but it starts or ends, however you want to look at it, in Wheeling, in that area right there, and I just never was up there or want to ride 2 hours um, to get that started. I covered a lot of other roads first. But that will be one that we get as soon as riding weather does return. Um, so we'll get that one there. But a lot of things come out of 250 and around 250, and anybody that's rode 250 knows that, or even parts of it. You know what I mean? So, but it's a big road. Most of the other big roads in this state, like your long runs. Um, we've covered most of them. I mean, we still have plenty to cover. Um, but your big routes, I think 19 is all the way done. I'm gonna have to check what's on here because we did a flurry of different roads in a short period of time over the summer, and we're still getting. I had forgotten that I had covered the 20 north. I actually covered it on the return from this ride. I went from north to south on it, and it was I've done all of 20 in the state of West Virginia, and it's on this channel. Um, I think I've covered all of 19. Um, I'm almost positive I have. Obviously can't look right now or anything, or never even thought of it before right now. I don't know why I even got on that subject. But as you can tell, this is a really, really pretty ride. And for the most part, there is some bad sections of the road, real patchy, bumpy. No real drop-offs as of last fall. It looks like it was a really nice day, but I had a jacket on, so obviously it wasn't super warm or anything. If I remember correctly, this was in like October when I did this ride. And obviously, winter has its effects on roads. Just keep that in mind. But as of when I did this ride, probably late October or mid October, the roads were actually pretty good. Might have been early October. I can't remember. honestly. This was recorded before several of the other rides that I did, so I kind of got lost in some timing of videos. I need to start writing that stuff down when I do these rides, but usually like through the summer, spring and stuff like that, I'm putting them out every week anyways. It was towards the end of summer and stuff that I started stockpiling stuff. I think it's your I missed that sign. um, I think it's the 218 um, cut off there. um, I'm almost positive that was the 218. Let me look real quick just to stay with you. But there's this little, what's that, jar or something like that? No, that's not jar. I'm not with it. I'm not on top of things like I normally am. Um, I'm actually just trying to see what stinking town. Might be Cassville. I don't know. Where is 218? Sorry, I'm trying to look this up because it's bothering me now. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Man, I can't get nothing to pop up. Anyways, uh, if I find that, I'll let you know because I'm an idiot and was not ready at all for that road to pop up. I remember watching it, or when I was going through it there, and I was like, oh yeah, mental note. But that was 2 days ago when I edited this video. Editing is tough and time consuming. Sometimes, like I said, I have still not figured out, and I need to go through editing software because right now, like when I do a voiceover, the screen that I use is yeah, that was Blacksville in 218. I was right. It was 218. Uh, that was Blacksville that we just rode through. I do apologize for that because normally I'm up and I've gotten the route wrote down or anything that I need to mention. That way I don't just start rambling and forget about stuff. But that does happen. Um, so, but yeah, what I was saying there is I'm looking at a credit card sized screen on the voiceover. I don't know why it does that. You would think like it would have a big screen, or you'd be able to enlarge it while you're doing a voiceover, so you can point out things. I don't know, but like I like this video editor to a point. It has its downfalls. Also, I can't like pause. I'd love to be able to like pause the video at like signs. Telling you mileage or street cutoffs, like right back here at 218. I could pause it. Look, this your 218. Hit play and continue. I can't with this one. I'm gonna check further into it. I know I've said that in the last like 3 videos. Um, we looked at a couple. They weren't as good. I didn't like how the actual editing worked on them. So we are looking for something, but here we are. You know what I mean? I apologize. It is what it is for now. Um, but yeah, like I said, as of last fall, at whatever time that this road was in really good shape. I don't expect it got much worse. You might have more debris or something like that. That tree just made me think of that. But this is a major route, major truck route too. Now where they kick off and get back on, I can't. On the Morgantown side, when we were coming out of Morgantown in the first video, you've seen a lot of that. Now this through here, you're not going to have a whole lot of truck traffic. This middle section, when you you kick off and up here at the end of this video and go that way, you're going to start running into traffic, truck traffic. There's not really a whole lot of daily traffic on this road, especially if you're riding this on a Saturday or over the weekend. You're not going to hit a lot of traffic. It's actually going to be really, this right here. So, don't be a whole lot of concern. Now, if you got, now I pointed out in the last video where, there's a truck entering roads and things like that. You will have to watch out for that because, most of the time, especially out of quarries, the rock quarry, they do pull out a lot of stuff on the road. But throughout this right here, you'll have them little white line seams throughout a lot of back roads in West Virginia. This one here, it's usually from the inside being rode by trucks and stuff like that and given out, or just given out. I mean, they don't have to have trucks on them. But this is, it's a gorgeous ride. Especially 7 is one of those routes. If you've never done them before, I suggest that you do. The only downfall at all to this road or this route, I can't think any more R words, but is the fact that you have to ride through the center of Morgantown, and that is a big, thing to me. I don't care for that, but at the same time, sometimes it's got to be done. There's a lot of good routes that go through big towns, and to me it's a sacrifice, but it is what it is. I enjoy this. This is what I enjoy right here. Being out on a long 2-lane that you can ride throughout the day. Hit small towns. Love small towns. Go through a big city. Have to sit there and like go through 30 stoplights. That's not riding to me. I don't care for it. That is what it is. You know what I mean? Some people are city people. I do not want to be anywhere near a big city on 2 wheels. Couple years ago, I think I've said before, like I've had this bike in like 24 states, as far west as Texas and up to Maine. Did the Canadian border from Erie, PA, over to Maine, the southern border from Texas. I really wasn't on the border in Texas, but from Lafayette, Louisiana, all the way over to Florida, and 2-laned it all the way back up through the bottom of this West Virginia. And like down, I ran into several, like Baton Rouge. I wouldn't suggest ever, like on 10, wouldn't suggest ever having a bike in that area. We actually stopped several. Well, we didn't stop. We were already stopped and just parked the bike alongside the road and waited for traffic to move. Especially at the Mississippi River at the crossing here in Baton Rouge. It was terrible. But I mean, you're going to run into that. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things where. Now I have family that lives down there, so I'm in the Baton Rouge, Lafayette area, mostly once a year, and like I've found ways, back roads, after getting to know the area, where I don't get anywhere near Baton Rouge. So that being said, you know what I mean. I don't know why I went on and ran about that. Mostly because there's terrible places to ride a bike, and if you can ever be sad on a bike, it's in a big city. You know what I mean? That's about how I'm looking at that. Yeah. So, but you're not going to run into this on anything like that on this road. This is actually a good route. what I like about it, it covers all the way across the state of West Virginia, and you actually see a lot. You know what I mean? You're going from backwoods like this to the one of the bigger cities. I guess it's probably Ed and Charleston's probably is the biggest. No, I think there's some bigger out in Peanut. Anyways, you see the diversity of the state, I guess. And then you drop out in New Martinsville. New Martinsville is an awesome little town. If you ever get in New Martinsville, don't ride Main Street. Kick off, go back to where the courthouse and stuff is. Ride that little. There's nothing really there, but it's just cool because get close to the river as you can. Ride there. I guess it's like secondary Main Street. I don't know what the name of it is. There's a restaurant back there that every bike rider that I know goes to. Um, and it's an awesome little like American buffet. But same time, I mean that's not for everybody. I just like looking at especially the old buildings and stuff, especially the ones that are still in use. But that's just me. But I do want to say, we've had some channel growth, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody that takes the time to sit down and watch these videos. And at the same time, I hope that these videos have helped somebody. I follow a couple riding pages, and somebody, it was an out-of-stater, don't know where they were from, but they were riding across the country and asked the group, which is, it's not a small group, it's, 25,000 member group, about one of the routes in West Virginia. And I actually shared that video to them, and they were very thankful for that video. They sat down and watched it and everything. So I was, that's why I do this. But right here, you jump on right here, and you just follow this here, and 7 will kick back off of it up here. And for some reason, once again, I am drawing an absolute blank. Yeah, this is 250. We were riding 250 and 7 up here. Right up here to kickoff is where the video is going to end. Now this will lead you right into 100. And like I said, we'll do 250 here coming up soon. But we'll have the final video to this one here. Finish up 7, and I'll get it out as soon as I can. But like I said, I appreciate everybody, watching the videos, following along, and liking, and comment if there's a road that you want me to cover, put on here. Let me know. I don't like I've always said, I don't know what you guys want or are looking for unless you let me know. So yeah, just comment, like, share them if you want to. 250 is a little bit rougher than 7 is, so just, but nothing's out of control. Like, it's just them little patches and stuff. And as far as gas stations, there's plenty of them on this ride. There's actually one right here where we make the turn, and there's actually bike setting there. But, I appreciate everything you guys do, you know what I mean? And, continue to be safe out there, and we'll get some more videos to you, man. Appreciate it. Be safe.